What is going on, guys? It's Yoji. So the announcement for the upcoming Path of Exile patch 2.1 is finally out. A lot is coming our way, such as new skill gems, new unique items, a new challenge league and even new game mechanics. Let me give you an overview over the announced changes for the major content update coming in early December. Let's kick things off with the next set of challenge leagues called Talisman. With GGG taking an extra 5 weeks to finish the next content patch, and with them saying there will only be one challenge league mechanic this time for both hardcore and softcore, my expectations were set pretty high. But damn, they surely delivered with this one. In Talisman League we will encounter monsters under the effect of a talisman, making them more challenging. Killing the monster will then drop said talisman, but other monsters in the area will try to pick it up as well, to claim the buff for themselves. A talisman is a corrupted amulet with a very powerful and all new implicit mod. They come in all rarities, but in addition they also have tiers. In the announcement we were shown some tier 1 and tier 2 talismans. There will be 3 different tiers of talismans, and the hardcore and softcore variant of the leagues will have different sets of talismans dropping. One way to obtain higher tier talismans is using stone circles that will randomly spawn in the Talisman League. Sacrificing a set of 5 different talismans of the same tier at the stone circle will summon a monster possessing a talisman of the next tier, which it will drop on death. The dropped talisman will be of similar rarity as the one sacrificed. There will be new unique boss encounters among those fights as well. But what if you sacrifice a set of talismans of the highest tier? Well, in that case you get to visit Thane Rigwald, the Wolven King, in his den. But just by looking at him you can tell that it's likely not going to be an easy fight. Oh, and talking about badass shamans, by completing the challenges in Talisman League, you can earn Rigwald's armor set in addition to the trophy totems for your hideout that previous leagues also had. 12 new gems will also be released with the 2.1 patch. 3 new bow skills, 2 physical damage spells, 3 chaos damage spells, and 4 support gems. So let's have a look at those. Shrapnel Shot will be a lightning bow skill that damages enemies in a cone area in front of your character, as well as shooting an arrow. The information we have suggests that it is supposed to be a leveling skill. In 2.0, physical bow leveling left a lot to be desired. If Shrapnel Shot will be able to fill that gap of a bow leveling skill remains to be seen. The announcement also mentions improvements to the power level of early game bows, so I'm confident that the situation is going to improve quite a bit. When looking towards endgame, you could pull out a Chinsaw unique bow and get the point blank keystone to make the melee bow shotgun build you always dreamed of. Blast Rain fires an arrow into the sky that will split out into a rain of exploding arrows around the targeted area, overlapping in the center. This could make it a great single target option for bows, while also being an AoE ability at the same time. It converts a portion of your physical damage into fire, and effectively makes your arrow a freaking cluster bomb. So bow users get a freaking siege weapon? This totem skill places down a siege ballista to slowly shoot highly damaging piercing projectiles at enemies. A freaking siege weapon. Oh baby. The physical spell Blade Vortex will summon ethereal weapons, following the theme of the good old ethereal knife skill. But this time the weapons will circle around your character for a set duration after activating the skill, damaging all enemies it passes through. It also names a maximum number of weapons that can circle around you at a time, while also stating you can only summon 1 weapon per cast. Does this mean you will have to cast it repeatedly to stack up whirling weapons, to then go shred your enemies while they are up? At least that's what it looks like for me. When I first read the name Blade Fall, I was hoping for a huge ass sword to be dropped down from the sky onto the enemy to crush them. But instead we get what sounds a little bit like a physical damage version of Firestorm, with a few mechanical additions. Bladefall is a physical damage spell that rains ethereal weapons down on your enemies in waves. Each wave will have less damage, but cover a wider area as well. Pretty neat skill, but I still kind of want that huge ass sword drop spell. Fitting with the Chaos theme, Contagion is a spell that inflicts a chaos damage over time effect on an enemy for a set duration. Upon death of that enemy, the effect will spread to nearby enemies, however not refreshing its duration. As opposed to other chaos damage inflicting skills in the game, Contagion can be scaled with increases to spell damage. In addition to that, the ability to cast a spell on a monster or pack of enemies, and then move on while the pack dies, has been proven to be a very efficient mechanic for clearing in the past. Not only is a spreading plague type skill awesome thematically, it also has potential for very strong AoE clear speed. How a Contagion build will fare against very strong single targets, such as bosses, remains to be seen. Well, there's one possible option presented in the announcement itself. Essence Drain is another thematically insanely cool skill. It allows you to shoot a projectile dealing chaos damage and applying a damage over time effect that also heals you for a portion of the damage dealt. Spell damage scales the damage over time effect as well. Oh, and Contagion's spreading effect also spreads Essence Drain. Two of the new skills interacting with each other. How awesome is that? Well, not as awesome as 3 new skills interacting with each other. The third chaos spell is called Wither. It slows targets in an area and increases the chaos damage taken. It is not a curse, by the way. This will also work with Viper Strike and Poison Arrow, which, by the way, will be renamed to Caustic Arrow. Blasphemy. This support gem might be meta and game changing, as it allows you to convert a curse into an aura that applies the curse's effect to all enemies within its radius. Each blasphemous curse will reserve 25% of your mana. The radius scales not only with aura radius, but also with curse area of effect. But even with that, blasphemy will mainly benefit melee attackers and close to mid-range casters rather than long-range characters. The fact that the curse is permanently applied around your character, with no need of it being cast or triggered by a gem, makes it great for defensive purposes, as it rules out that a non-cursed monster might surprise you. I'm looking at you, Devourers. The ability to run curses as auras will make the choice of what to reserve your mana for even harder. Do you want to run another Herald or an offensive curse aura? How about charge generation via Poachers, Assassins and Warlords Mark? A defensive buff such as Arctic Armor versus an Enfeeble aura? Can we have reduced mana back now, please? Other than Blasphemy, 3 new support gems have also been announced. Controlled Destruction, which reduces the supported spell's crit chance by 100% while granting a more multiplier to its damage, which will be great for non-crit spellcasters. Now before you freak out about this making existing skills that are already strong even stronger, incinerate, I am certain there will be balance changes coming that way to counteract that. Another one is Rapid Decay, which basically speeds up a supported damage over time effect by giving it more damage but less duration. Skills that might benefit from that are, for example, Fire Trap, Poison or now Caustic Arrow, and of course the aforementioned new chaos spells. And lastly, Void Manipulation, which grants more chaos damage at the expense of less elemental damage. 3 of apparently many unique items have also been spoiled with the announcement. A cool looking early leveling bow, a fire trap shield that is actually a feather fan, and one of a new type of threshold jewels, which alter a specific skill's mechanics, in this case Spectral Throw. I can't wait to see what the other ones of those do. In addition to all this new content, there will also be major balancing changes, such as rebalancing most skill gems in the whole freaking game, and changing the mechanics of many skills as well. This basically sounds like everything will change. A lot. We do not yet know the details, however. Monster damage, leech, the passive tree, melee skill mana costs, low level bow leveling, and early minion skills are also named to be in for some balance adjustments. Among these are also most likely the improvements to melee splash, the rebalancing of single target skills, and the poison changes mentioned in earlier development manifesto and forum posts by Rory. All of this will go down on the 11th of December. So take your days off of work, send your wife and kids on vacation, and tell your friends if they need anything from you, they will have to look for you in Rayclast. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content like this every week. Or stay and watch another video. I also sometimes stream on twitch.tv/itsyoji.